Hello everyone, how are you doing? Today we're doing the full bundle review for MERCS and MINERS, our new May sci-fi bundle. With me, we have Alvaro, our art director.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
And she's going to be on my right side today, painting the dwarf miner bust. But we have Luiza joining us today for the painting. Say hello, Luiza. I hope she said hello because we can't actually hear her. Okay, so yeah, let us know if you guys can hear us well. I'm gonna start the live stream today with like a brief recap of what's been going on in the story, just because we've been going around, we've kind of been going around the universe with our sci-fi bundles, and we have some very exciting stuff waiting for us in the next bundle. I believe we started the bundle like January was the nuclear fallout, which was our post-apocalyptic bundle, right? Post-nuclear apocalypse bundle. Our heroes had to fight a bunch of mutants to get off planet. They got off planet, and then after that, which bundle was it again? Was it? I believe it was Spacecraft Crasher.
Yeah.
Spacecraft Crasher, or space horror inspired bundle. Let's say with a lot of references in that bundle, a lot of like really cool minis. But our heroes had to, like the ones that survived the experience at least, eventually got to the planet of Lutba. A sand planet, covered in dunes, let's say. And they had to fend off a bunch of creatures, and I believe we actually have a couple of like big creatures around us here today. Where are they? I think they right here. Like the giant worms. And yeah, once they beat those challenges and they beat the royal family of Lutba, they eventually got off planet again and got to a more cyberpunk inspired planet with our Neon Street 3K bundle. That was a very fun bundle to do. I think it's a team that a lot of people had been asking for a long time, right? And we finally got a chance to do it. We did a lot that we wanted to do in that bundle, but I don't think it's the last time we're gonna visit that particular team. I think there's enough. It's one of those teams that there's enough there that we can probably go back to it in the future. But nevertheless, we did a lot of like really like kind of contemporary references in that bundle. And now, finally, we're taking off to space again, and this time we're going to an asteroid. Our heroes, they got a job from, or let's not say heroes, the mercs, right? Because what is a space adventure if not a merc? Our heroes got a job from Jeff Musk, or crime boss from the Neon Street 3K bundle, and yeah. They have gone to an asteroid, to a mining expedition. They have met the miners, and what is a nice way to put this? Maybe at the command of Jeff Musk, they have been kind of, putting the screws to the miners, kind of trying to getting them to pay or to lay off their claim to the asteroid. But what they don't know is that the Brainlord of the mining operation has found a little something, an ancient relic, deep within the asteroid, and has been putting that to work again. So yeah, this is where the MERCS and MINERS bundle comes from, and who knows what's beyond those portals. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, let me check chat here. Yeah, so I believe this bundle started off more towards the mercs than the miners side.
Yeah.
But I think there's room there for us to return to the miners. In the future.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the idea of the mine for this bundle is more just the setting, and it's one of those things. Is the bundle is it's composed of a lot of characters that could be used as space adventurers, right? Even a couple of the miners could be used as space adventurers, and therefore mercs.
If we did a lot of miners, people would complain that it would be more fantasy than sci-fi, maybe. So,
yes,
yeah.
yes, it's hard to find that balance,
Yeah.
right? Over. So yeah, this is the bundle, and I think that's the idea behind it. Of course, you guys, those of you who follow us and that are subscribed to our fantasy subscription, you notice that for the fantasy subscription in May we did City of Portals. So there's a lot of different portals there, and one of the portals was the time portal. We kind of redid it here in the sci-fi bundle, but it's a little bit of a different version, more ancient relic found and repurposed kind of deal. And yeah, we're gonna get into it a little bit more towards the end of the live stream. So, but let's get into the minis, because there's a lot of cool stuff to get through today. And so let's talk about our mercs first. And those are mostly the guys that we think of when we think of space adventure. The concept of a merc, I think you can think of something like Guardians of the Galaxy, like the first movie, where they are all kind of just out for themselves. They're all like trying to get the relic. And in RPGs in general, there's this idea of forming an adventuring party, or forming a group of people with a common goal, and the goal is usually to get some compensation for the adventure, right? This happens a lot more in sci-fi focused RPGs, so cyberpunk themed and space themed. Like it's much easier to get everyone interested in a single objective around a game table if the objective is like fairly straightforward, like let's get a lot of money, let's get a lot of credits. So yeah, I think in pulp fiction in general, you can find a lot of the heroes are just kind of out to make a buck. And yeah, these are the mercs for our bundle. And let's start off with the concept art for our first merc, Core, the robotic envoy. Core is we've been trying to do like hard surface models for a while. Like every bundle we try to do like sneak in at least one. You guys like robots, and this one is no exception. There's a couple of details about this one though. This one's like has a little bit more character to him, and I think a lot of it's because of the clothes. Right, and Alvaro made a mention of this in a meeting we had. It doesn't make much sense, right?
Yeah, a robot using clothes, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it looks cool, so why not? And also it represents this feeling of the robots being trying to be more human.
They are sentient, and
Yeah.
and one of the things that like sentient races tend to do is wear clothes. So if you're wearing clothes, it kind of like it gives you some personality
Yeah.
in the eyes of other sentient creatures. So yeah, it's kind of his way of saying I am alive, I am here. The base for him is also really cool, but I think we should move on to the model now, to the 3D model, so you guys can see it better and how it turned out. And this model was sculpted by Matheus Baboni. And the base for this one especially, there's a lot of bases, a lot of our bases, we try to tell a little bit of a story, and I think the base for this one with the smoke going up, like, or maybe depending on how you paint it, it's like it's fire or something. So it tells a little bit of a story. Like this the guy that is this the gunslinger that is stepping through the fire. Like, he's a robot. He doesn't really care about the fire. And it's one of those situations where cool guys don't look at explosions, but even cooler guys walk through them, right? And yeah, he does have a lot of mechanical bits to him, to the character, especially in the arms, the head, stuff like that. But I think you could use this as as a regular humanoid character. Doesn't need to be a robot. It could work.
Yeah, it looks like a helmet and some armor.
Yeah, it could be a helmet, some armor, and like for the hands, it could be either prosthetic hands or cybernetic enhancements. There's a lot of this in sci-fi as well. You just, there's better stuff out there in limbs-wise than you can see than nature gives you. So you just, lop off a hand or two and get something better from your local doctor. So yeah, a really, really cool character. Envoys are a particular class in Starfinder, actually, and they kind of represent that. The Envoy covers a lot of ground. Like, Han Solo could be he's clearly some kind of mercenary, but he could be an envoy. An envoy is kind of a space cowboy kind of deal, right? Stuff that you see in like stuff like in the Mandalorian or stuff like that. So yeah, definitely Core is one of my. I think he's one of my favorites from this bundle, just because I really like the cool look and like the shape of the helmet. It's just really, really cool.
It's funny because when we first started designing this bundle, our main reference was Guardians of the Galaxy, but it evolved to something completely different. There is no. The only thing about Guardians of the Galaxy that I can see is like we have a lot of different mercs. But,
yeah, a lot of variation, but
but it's funny because some people were like, "Oh, I like the reference from Star-Lord when they saw this guy." And
it wasn't like a direct reference.
No,
I think there's just a feeling.
Yeah,
there's just a feeling to this kind of characters, right? Like Star-Lord, it kind of has that feel. Han Solo also kind of has that feel. So, a space gunslinger. Just real quick. Okay. So yeah, this is Core or robotic envoy. Let me see if what people are saying in chat right now. So yeah, it's one of those. It's kind of a trope that you gotta have a lot of space diversity, right? You gotta have a lot of different types of aliens and robots, and science fiction is kind of built on that, right? Star Wars is built on that, and Guardians of the Galaxy especially is built on that, and it's fun. It's fun to explore different things, and different and weird things. Like our next character. And let's move on to our next character now. And the next character is Grooze, the Morphic Ooze.
Some people already know this one, right?
Yes, some people already know this one. As part of, we did a little bit of a crossover. So Luke's doing crossovers now. So if you have or if you're a subscriber to our fantasy subscription and you got our City of Portals bundle, this one came a little bit earlier. So it's it was already planned. Like, all of this crossover stuff was already planned like a couple of months ago, and we decided which minis we were going to do the crossover with, and like a couple of days, was it before? I think it was like a week before we actually announced this bundle. The Wizards of the Coast did the Spelljammer announcement, and they announced a race that is basically a humanoid ooze.
Yeah.
And it was like purely coincidental. we like with on the developing process of this particular character, like we weren't thinking about Spelljammer at all. It just kind of worked out that way. So yeah, you guys already have if you plan on playing Spelljammer at all in the future, you guys already have a mini for it for a race that hasn't even been officially released yet, which was kind of fun.
The difference is that our look much better, right?
Yeah, ours looks like a high level ooze, right? As in they are wearing like they are a bit enhanced. They are not just a blob.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be a challenge for a lot of people to even represent their character as the like official Spelljammer version, because it's just kind of a humanoid shaped blob, right? Maybe you can change colors, but you can't change much more than that. Or Gruz is a little bit more has a little bit more shape to him, let's say.
yeah.
And yeah, let's move on to the let's show the actual sculpt. And this one was sculpted by Sebastian Ramos. And I believe for this one we also have a bust, right? Which we are going to show in just a bit. So whenever we're doing something like an elemental or something like Gruz, which is made of a liquid, it's a little bit of a challenge because you need to show the form, but you also need to show the flow, right? So there's a lot of elements that you can notice in the mini that show how the form is fluid and is flowing around. And I think the big one is in the hand. Yeah, let's change to the bust now so we can see a lot of detail. And there's a lot of really cool detail there. Yeah, let's just make sure. A couple of our models, especially the busts, sometimes they get stuck in the scenario. Yeah, I think that's working great now. So yeah, Gruz is like just such a cool character, and you need to have like your weird big kind of like differently. How do I put this? He's weird. He's not like the thing that you would expect, right? He's something like Groot that was made from like there was just like a walking tree. So we made Gruz, which is a walking blob of slime. It's a really fun character. It's a really fun concept, and I believe the actual stat block that we did for him and in the lore that we did for him, and of course you can do something different. You can do like use technology to get around this. His language is a little bit like Groot's language, like but he just kind of bubbles a lot, and like when the bubbles pop, that you have to interpret that, and that is his language, which I think it's, and even calling Gruz he is maybe a misnomer. Yeah, you know, maybe he just uses this particular form. It's a vague humanoid form. There's no way to really tell like what gender is he, or if he even had like if his species even has the concept of gender. It's a little bit fluid in that way.
When we were designing him, I was in mind that doctor from the Hellboy movie. I forgot how.
Ape Sapiens?
No, the smoke one.
The smoke
ectoplasma.
The ectoplasmic one from the second movie. Yeah, I forgot as well.
It's a German name, so I can't remember. But I'm a big fan of this movie. And I really like this concept of the doctor being just ectoplasm and to...
He needs a suit.
Yeah, he needs a suit to interact with people, right? So Goose, in my vision, is more or less this same concept. He's like a news, and he has this armor and
goggles.
Goggles, and yeah, to help him stand as a more or less human form. So yeah, and I'm curious to know if people would like to see this race represented in our fantasy bundles, like with not technological items like these, but with swords and
Yeah,
you know,
probably probably instead of like the techno suit, something like enchanted armor or something, runic armor. I can see the same concept working for that. It just like giving them special items, just like it helps define the silhouette of the model, and it helps like give them a little bit more character than just a blob.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is something we're going to touch on. A lot of there's one race that we've done before in this bundle, which is going to be the next character. But we also want to know like we should probably put a poll up for that. But we have done like original loot created aliens and races in our sci-fi bundles, and we have repeated them once in a while, but we have been trying to expand our universe, and maybe now's the time to do a couple of them again. You know, do a different take on a couple of these races. So let us know which ones you like the most and which ones you'd like to see another take on. So let's move on to our next character. We have done this race before, and the next character is Korut. Korut the Mechapillion. And Korut is a Capillion. We have done this race before, the big lizard man. We have kind of technically, but not really, done this in the fantasy bundle as well. Like lizard people are kind of all over media. So you have lizard people in fantasy, but you also have lizard people in the in sci-fi. A lot of lizard people in sci-fi or lizard overlords shall be sated. So yeah, there is a particular correlation for this guy in something like Starfinder. But I think it's just the idea of like you need a big brutish dude. You do a lizard person. That is kind of old. That is like a couple of the first Star Trek. I think the best example of this, like the oldest example I can think of, is Star Trek. The fight with like the Gorn, that reptilian humanoid. That's an early one. But yeah, reptilian people are kind of like shorthand for they are cold and they are different. They are similar enough to us that we can understand that they are similar enough to something that we know, that we can draw correlations. They are not like Grus, which are totally and completely alien. They are kind of, yeah, I can kind of guess how the mind of a creature like this would work. And yeah, we need a big bruiser, and we need cyborgs. And we've done a lot of humanoid cyborgs, and we wanted to try and do an alien cyborg. So there we go. That's how we turn a Capillion into a Mechapillion. So let's check out the model. And again, this one also works as not a cyborg, but as armor as well. If you want to use it as armor, you can. And this sculpt was done by Lailson Camini. Let me just mark down my little cheat sheet here. So yeah, you do not want to be on the other side of that minigun on any battlefield ever. So yeah, just a big bruiser, big soldier. I think can we try to show off the bust? This character also has a bust.
The bust is so big that it doesn't
yeah,
fit.
It takes a little bit of balancing for the bust there. Yeah, let's adjust the camera a little bit. And this guy is big. This guy is huge. So if you're playing Starfinder, maybe this is the guy you wanna take in your adventures. Like just a heap of hit points, a lot of really cool stuff going on with this guy. And again, like you don't need to use it as as cyborg parts. You can just use it as armor, although his legs are kind of like fully robotic. But again, you can like sci-fi has that kind of stuff, especially cyberpunk, which was our last bundle. We're kind of blending in from that bundle into this one with a couple of these characteristics. And in sci-fi, sometimes flesh is kind of cheap, and you just kind of replace it and move on. Let's see here. Awesome. Yeah. Cyber Rumble Lizard. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just checking out the chat here, seeing the comments. A lot of people really like this guy. It's just a concept. And I think there's which was it? The Rick and Morty did an episode, their Avengers episode, where there was a cyber croc. You remember that one? There was like it's from the episode where they mock the Avengers. There's like the guy that's just a million ants, and there's like there's a guy that controls ghost trains, and there's a guy that's like half cold-blooded unfeeling lizard, and half equally cold and unfeeling machine, and that's kind of the joke. So yeah. But here we have it. Here we have Korut. If anyone guesses where because I came up with the name Korut. If anyone guesses the reference, just DM me in Discord, and I don't know. I'll give you a big congratulations. I think I'm not authorized to give you anything beyond that. So yeah, this is Korut, our third merc and our second bust for today. So let's move on to our next merc. And this one is going to be Letty, the Bionic Brawler. And Letty is the first human, quote unquote, of the bundle. She's a little bit more in line with like what you expect of a human to look like. She does have like the big fists, which I think are really cool. There's a couple of different. I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077 recently, and you do have like the cyber arms for punching are called gorilla arms, and they are like really strong in game, and just that feeling of being able to, like, it's a sci-fi setting, right? Armor has been getting both lighter and stronger. And people have like personal defense shields and stuff like that, but you still need to be able to, throw some fists in a while. And I think Letty really represents that. Humanity in sci-fi always has that thing, like, it's a sci-fi setting, and there's laser weapons, and there's like sonic blasters, and there's all this stuff. But sometimes the best that you can do is like throw some fists around, and Letty is kind of the embodiment of that. I think she's a good representation of humanity in that way. So yeah, let's check out the model, and this one by Gustavo Glis. And yeah, this is the sculpt by Gustavo Glis. Are we focused there? I think we are. Okay, yeah. We are. Yeah, I'm checking these things out in a screen here that's certain to me, but I'm kind of far away from here. I just wanted to make sure you guys are seeing everything right. Okay, so yeah, this is Letty. There's a couple of like interesting details. They are actually you could go the way of like kind of the arcane route, where they are actually gloves that go above the hand. Or they could just be her prosthetic hands, right? It's one of those things where you detach the fighting hands and attach the driving ones. So yeah, Flash is kind of cheap in sci-fi settings, and you can do a lot of stuff with the with the models. A lot of like very, very interesting stuff. This is not. I don't think this is the kind of character that we would have a chance to do as like a main character in our fantasy bundle, right? A brawler. We have done a couple of brawlers before, but they have, but not as a main character. There's like D&D specifically has a little bit of trouble, especially with like unarmed combat, unless you're a monk or something. So yeah, we wanted to do something different, something fresh. And we have no, Letty does not have a bust, but the next one does. So let's move on to our next model, and the next model is another new alien race for loot. This one is the Nimbus Gunslinger, and the Nimbus Gunslinger, she's a little bit based on, she's kind of the in Guardians of the Galaxy, which was a huge inspiration. You have Nebula as a counterpart to Gamora, and you know. We didn't have specifically Gamora for this model, but we needed to do something that represented that, like some sort of space assassin, right? So you don't just have a bunch of brawlers, a bunch of up-in-your-face guys, or a bunch of heavy gun users. You also have like the more subtle person in the party. So I think that's was one of the inspirations for this character, right, Alvaro?
Yeah.
Was one of the point is kind of like to do something more nimble and more assassin-like. And I think the especially with the pose, I think we got where we needed to get with this character. So yeah, let's make the transition now to the actual model. Yeah, just a second, you guys. And this model was sculpted by, and let me just mark things down here. The Nimbus Gunslinger was sculpted by Victor Prado. And the Nimbus Gunslinger, and it was kind of funny because with the fantasy subscription, we had a little bit of a backlash with one of the characters that was like a little bit more body positive, I should say. But the Nimbus Gunslinger is also like wearing very tight clothing, but I think it fits.
Yeah.
And I think it's it wasn't even a consideration for anyone in the community. Like at least I didn't see anyone have any complaints about this character. And I think it's one of those types of characters that is just so embedded into sci-fi, and for both male and female characters, sometimes you just have like people in spandex, right? People in really, really tight clothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Nimbus Gunslinger works for that. It's a great femme fatale character if you want to play her like that.
I like how her chest armor has some alien look to it.
Yeah.
It's more like organic and with some tubes maybe.
Yeah.
I really like this.
It reminds me a little bit of there's two things that it reminds me of. Like the Fremen suits from Dune.
Yeah.
Reminds me a little bit of that, just because of the way the tubes go around. But it also reminds me of the actual like armor, like the way they find the engineer in the first Alien movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of that. It almost looks like it's like some extra ribs, like the suit is made out of a rib cage, which it's really, really kind of gross. So yeah, let's show the bust now, just so we can see more detail in this character. And it also has like her hair also kind of follows a little bit of that same aesthetic, kind of tubular, or maybe it's like tentacles, right?
Yes.
But I believe I think the hype ponytail on her is that like
it's not hair, it's like tentacles. Yeah.
It's like tentacles,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's That's really nice. It's she does have a tail, as people are reminding me here in the video. It's one of those shorthands, right? You can make something look really alien and really strange, and yet somehow familiar. So it's not hair, but it works like hair. So we look at it and we know what it's supposed to represent. It's very good shorthand for that. Okay, so let's check out our next character. Ooh. And the next character is who? Have you ever seen The Fifth Element? Our next character is the Psychic Brainlord. And this particular character, I think that it takes a couple of like visual cues from a tall and imposing character like that one from the blue lady from The Fifth Element, the opera singing blue lady from The Fifth Element. But she has also a couple of very common concepts, sci-fi concepts going on. You do end up having a lot of races in sci-fi that are telepathic or telekinetic in some way. They are usually more diplomatic races, right? Usually the warmongering races don't get this kind of power. So you get stuff like the Betazoid from Star Trek, or even the Vulcans are somewhat telepathic. But you also get this kind of stuff in like all kinds of RPGs. There are whole like classes based around that. So yeah, we want to give a nod to that kind of character. And if you don't want to use her as a scion type of character, you can definitely use her if you're playing like a fantasy game. You can use her as a mage or something. I believe Starfinder has something like a Technomancer. Shadowrun definitely has a Technomancer, which is kind of like you can control technology or the energy of the cosmos with your mind, which is just different ways of dressing up magic, you know. It's different ways of talking about it. So yeah, let's move on to the model, and this one is really cool. This model was sculpted by João Comaceto, and I think it's really cool because and when I first saw the concept art, I was kind of doubtful of how it would actually turn out in the mini, because she actually has like her skirts. It's not just one skirt. It's a bunch of it kind of divides, right, in a bunch of different. I'm not gonna say tassels, but in a bunch of different strips of cloth when it comes to a certain point down. And our João Comaceto actually managed to, it looks like it's a single piece of clothing, but it also like they all kind of move individually, and there's like a logic to it, and it's really cool. And there's also her like actual cape or cloak above that, so it's a really cool character. And I don't know if the thing on her head is like a headdress, or if her actual head is like that big, is that like elongated. Is a little bit like some ancient alien stuff, but it's also like which people was it? Was it the Incas that did the elongated head? I don't remember now. It was the Incas, right? So people did do elongated heads, and there's like this whole host of conspiracy theories about how and ancient alien stuff, about how the people with elongated heads were trying to emulate some kind of alien with a lot of cognitive power. So yeah, you want to make something look like it has big brain powers. You give them a big head, right? And that's kind of what
Megamind.
Yeah, like Megamind.
Yeah. And I'm very happy with this one because at first I was worried about the texture on their skirt. There's like this motherboard or would you say
let's
this?
say here. Let's see here.
Like this. It looks like how do you say this pattern? This
I don't.
like a motherboard, electronic, yeah.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean, and for a moment there I thought, oh yeah, because in the 32 millimeter you can't actually see it
I
that
was
well.
worried.
It kind of almost looks like printing lines, but like printing lines that make no sense. And I was like, what is this? But it's actually like a pattern, right? It's like an electronics pattern, like the actual pathways in an electronics board.
Yeah, I was worried about the 32 millimeters, but it actually
it actually
really
came
well.
out. You can actually see it. I was actually worried, like, oh well, this 32 millimeter didn't turn out as great as it is. But no, it's just the pattern of the actual cloth. Sometimes these things don't come out at all in the 32 millimeters.
Yeah, there's
right?
something important to say because some people think that we scoop the miniatures for the 75 millimeters and we just downscale them to 32, but it actually isn't true. We think about both scales, and of course some details are so small that they will work only on the 75 millimeter scale, but it doesn't mean it's wrong. Like we don't want to limit ourselves to only the 32 millimeters one. So sometimes we add some really small details that we know that won't be visible in a very small miniature. But for the painters or people who like the bigger versions, they will be able to see those details.
Yeah, and I think the point is that the 32 millimeters, even without those details, they look fine. But the 75 millimeters, without those details, they would look a little bit flat.
Yeah.
They would look kind of weird, right?
Some details that we already did in the past, they look a little flat, like the important details like seams and or other stuff, they should work on the 32 millimeters, but depending on how deep they are, they become a little flat maybe. So this is something that we are already aware of. Yeah, and we are already trying to improve it. So our sculptors are like making the details deeper and like stronger, so they are visible in both scales.
Yeah, absolutely. And this one? No, this one doesn't have a bust. Our next bust is quite a ways away now. We do have 4 busts for this bundle, but the next character also, and the next character is a bit of a twofer because it's the metal tug. We have two different poses, slightly different poses for the metal tug, and the metal tug, it's actually something that we've been trying to do for every bundle as well. We've been trying to do just kind of like the, and I mentioned this in our last live stream, our fantasy live stream. The metal tug is our kind of standard humanoid soldier that we're going to try that we're probably going to try to do one in basically every bundle. We're only not gonna do like a standard humanoid warrior of some kind if they don't if it really doesn't fit the bundle. But I think that the idea is that humanoid soldiers are very versatile. You can use them as a bunch of different things. The reason this character has a faceplate, because if you want to use it as a human, you can. If you want to use it as some other race, you can. It doesn't really matter. This one is kind of what we call here at Loot or cheeseburger character. Like if you go to any burger joint anywhere, they always have like their own burgers, right? And they give it a bunch of different names. But every burger joint everywhere always has like a cheeseburger, which is like a safe bet. Is a thing that's kind of gonna be a good thing for a lot of people that are just want something kind of simple.
It won't be impressive, but
Yeah.
everyone will be okay with it. Will
Yes.
like it.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So it's and not to say it is not like a great mini. It's just not as out there as something like Grooze, right? A thing made of slime, which is not going to be useful in every situation for everyone. But yeah, this is the metal tug, and we have a couple of different versions, couple slightly different poses for him. One of the and let's actually show the models now. And one of them, they were both sculpted by, and let me get this here, Uriel Mendes. And one of them is pointing his gun forward, and the other one, the one on the right, and I know this is important to a lot of people, the one on the right is executing like safe gun handling, right? Is his finger actually off the trigger? I think it is.
Yeah.
It is not off the trigger. Oh,
No,
man.
no, he's actually shooting someone.
I know,
Not
but the other
posing.
one, like, no, his finger is like hovering over the trigger. It's not actually like, it's not pulling the trigger yet. Yeah, it's like the safety is on. The safety is on. He's pointing the gun down. It's fine. It's fine. Let's not have another gun gate. But yeah, it's just slightly different poses. Sometimes it's good for us to do. Like you guys have asked us to do more of these. Sometimes we do different poses for the same character once in a while, but we don't. We try to avoid doing. But if we did a lot of that, we would end up having to reduce the number of different characters in a bundle. There's like a limit of there's a number limit to how many characters we can put in a bundle, and although doing a different pose is not like starting a mini from scratch, it's still a lot of work.
Yeah,
Especially on the
Yeah, we have to play supports and print
and test
that.
printed. Yeah,
It's a lot of extra work.
Yeah, so it's a lot of extra work, and we would rather spend all the time doing a completely new character, right? But it's still great to have that option once in a while, and we're gonna keep trying to do it. Like once in a while, especially for the sci-fi bundle.
Yeah,
we're probably gonna have a couple of
Those versatile minis are great for armies. Like you can print a lot of these guys and have like a big army with different poses. You can actually also mirror them when slicing the files, so you will have like two more options, like a left-handed soldier.
Yeah, left-handed soldiers.
Yeah.
That's actually like a big thing for like actual militaries. I was checking out a couple of videos on it, because a couple of guns are designed to be used by right-handed people, and so they spit out the brass casings on the right side.
Oh yeah.
So if you're left-handed and you try to use one of those guns, they spit the brass casings on your face. So you actually need like a completely different.
In future, we don't have this problem.
In the future, all guns are ambidextrous guns. But yeah, these are the Metal Thug 1 and 2. So yeah, let's move on to our next character, the Spinacant Thug. And the Spinacant Thug is also a new alien. He does have a little bit of a... there's a couple of aliens in fiction that kind of look like him, right? And so it's one of the reasons we did him like we did, because he's very versatile in that way. So he looks a little bit like the aliens from Gears of War, and a little bit like the aliens from stuff like Halo, and a little bit like there's always an alien kind of like this, you know, a big brutish guy with roughly humanoid features, really thick skin, and a lot of armor, right? Heavy armor and heavy guns. So this is not the first time we're doing anything like this, but we're kind of trying to expand our repertoire of alien races, and probably do something cool with them in the future, like bring them back and do whole bundles of them, maybe, if you guys really like one. So yeah, this is the Spinnaker Tug. He was sculpted by Wagner Luiz. I'm gonna say the full name because that's what I have here. It's Wagner Luiz Simon, the artist. Sometimes, like, and I need to check it with this. I think I did, but I don't quite remember now. Like, definitely check out our artists. We try to put out the credits on every bundle. When you click on the bundle, the credits are like full credits are gonna be there. Like who sculpted the models, who did the concept art, or direction team, Alvaro and Hobson for the sci-fi bundles. But also the 3D support team, the people that actually put the supports on the models. So all of the credits are there. Just check them out, and please follow our artists on social media and send them some love, because they do some really amazing work for us. And so yeah, let's check out the actual model. And yeah, this is the Spinnaker Tug. Nothing too out there, just a new alien race. It's a different take on an alien soldier. Just kind of I'm not gonna say standard, but really versatile and useful. You can always use this guy as you can always also use this guy, if you want to, as some kind of other reptilian creature, right? It's always nice to. It's the kind of character that is always nice to have.
Yeah, at first it looks like he's holding his gun with only one hand, but actually he has like this strap attached to the
chest armor.
Yeah. The gun is like hanging on his
chest.
Yeah.
So he's actually like he's moving a gun an arm to his knife. Maybe he's like, you're not even worthy of my bullets, right? I'm not gonna waste my ammunition on you. If ammunition is even a factor for these guys, maybe they're using like plasma rounds or stuff like that. Maybe they don't have ammo packs. They have like batteries. It's battery operated. Okay, so sorry, anything else you'd like to say about the Spinnaker?
Water.
Yeah. Good. If someone could help me out with some water, please. Pretty please with sugar on top. Thank you so much. Whew. Yeah, I sometimes I kind of strain my voice during these live streams.
He's the one talking, and I'm the one with a lot of water.
Yeah, let's actually check a couple of people have been mentioning how amazing your work is being, Luiza, on the live stream. So yeah, let's check the actual. Let's transition into the Luiza cam and check out the dwarf miner. And that is actually our fourth bust for today. We haven't actually gotten to this character yet, but it's dwarfs are kind of, they make their way into a lot of different fiction. They are definitely present into Warhammer, but they are called squats, I believe. And it's one of those things. And the Warhammer lore on like dwarves and trolls is kind of really. So dwarves are humans in Warhammer that have gone to really high gravity planets, so they just don't grow as tall.
Yeah,
and they're called squats, which is funny as hell, and it's a great conceit to do a fantasy race in your sci-fi setting.
There are giants that live in like low gravity places.
Yeah, but there's also trolls and I don't know if they live in like low gravity places. I know they are like there are humans that are very very big and very very dumb. They, so yeah, I don't know all that much about about Warhammer lore. I've tried getting into it for a while, but it's kind of a very very deep rabbit hole. They have like the complete stories of like 1,000 people chapters, right? Of the like whole legions just spelled out for you, and I was like, okay, that's maybe a bit too much for me. I'm just starting. I just want to check things out. But anyways, so yeah, I hoped Luiza responded and said something to the chat. Luiza, if you could, okay, if you could
ask us something.
Yeah, let's say what kind of what paint schemes, what colors are you planning on using for the dwarf there? And I'm just gonna wait for a signal here.
Well, I'm gonna use like black metal here at his weapon, and I'm going to use metal chrome at his
not
armor.
understandably, Alvaro.
Yeah, and well,
yeah.
kind of like
she's
that.
done. Yeah, that's very interesting, Luiza. Very very good choices.
Plasma.
Yeah, like a plasma place.
Oh, now she's done. Very interesting, Luiza. Absolutely great. We should definitely fix this one for the next live stream.
Yeah.
But anyways, okay. So the next tug, and I think the last. Let me just make sure here. Yeah, the next tug and the last one of the tugs. The last one from Jeff Musk's team. I keep tripping myself up and almost saying something else with that character. And this one is the Barbasian Tug, another new race for new alien race for our sci-fi bundles. Again, has a tail very lean. He's kind of the other side of the coin for the Spinnaker tug. You usually also have like you usually in sci-fi have like a large kind of brutish race, and sometimes you have a smaller, more nimble and leaner race. And I think for those of you who have played Destiny, there's the Cabal for the big strong race, and there's the Fallen for the lean and fast and sometimes more technologically advanced race. So yeah, the Barbasian Tug is definitely up there with those guys. He's if you don't want to play like a brute character, and if you don't want to play a human character, he would probably be a good choice for you. Another gunslinger, especially like the Mexican standoff pose, right, pointing at least two different other people. Maybe he's part of a train robbery or a stick up of some kind. So yeah, definitely this guy is a great addition to be played, to either be played as a character or to be used as an enemy, as like a literal thug. So actually, let's transition to the model of the Barbasian Tug, and this one was sculpted by Carlos Fontenelle. Whew, I think my nose is getting stuffed, and that's why I'm tripping up. Weird, and it's probably because of the AC, not the temperature, more the direction. Thank you. Whew. Well, yeah, so this the Barbasian Tug. He reminds me a little bit of, and this is gonna be it's not gonna be that deep a cut. He reminds me a little bit of one of those aliens from Ben 10.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
runner. like-
Yeah, the runner area, right? And I think it's just the shape of the legs. It
Yeah.
kind of
He looks like a
indicates.
fast guy. Like.
Yeah, he looks like a
Yeah.
fast guy. It looks a little bit like the running prosthetics, right? Which are not legs, are kind of like curved springs. They are kind of based on this kind of leg arrangement, and the whole point is like they help you recover part of the energy that you put on your step. So yeah, it's those prosthetics are kind of like humans trying to imitate nature to get like the most out of the prosthetic. So yeah, great mini. Especially, I think this one would actually, if it wasn't an alien, because we didn't have that many aliens in that model, but it would also fit very well alongside the characters from the Lutba bundle.
Yeah.
He does have, to me at least, a little bit of a desert vibe going on with like the way he's wrapped up. So you know, either ninja or desert assassin, something like that.
Like those English song.
Okay, and this one was our last Doug for today. Let's move on to our first and it's actually going to be our the arcade light bearer. So the arcade light bearer, and yes, that one. Yes, this one is a fun one. This is Torture, the arcade light bearer. And for those of you who didn't pick up on it, arcade comes from orca, as in killer whale. So just because this guy is like really cute and really cuddly, and you really want to like hug him or have him as a pet, and we should probably do a plushie of him sometime.
Plushie.
If we ever do plushies like stuffed animals,
Oh.
stuffed toys, if we ever do plushies, we definitely have to do Torture, because he has such a happy expression, right? But much like killer whales, the arcades are like ruthless and smart killers. They are like, you do not want to be on the bad side of one. Like killer whales are named killer whales for a reason. They are very brutal. They develop like they hunt in packs. They develop all of like these crazy strategies to hunt down and kill and eat like sea lions and stuff like that. They are not as warm and cuddly as you would expect, right? And Torture, despite appearances, because he's really cute and cuddly, he's kind of like that. He is on the side of the miners. He is the guy. He's kind of the I'm gonna say the canary in the coal mine. He's the guy that he's the light bearer. He bears the light. He bears he makes sure there's always a light inside the tunnels. He makes sure the other miners can find their way in or out of the tunnels. And he's the first to let them know if there's anything dangerous about to happen. So he's the one that like kind of leads the way. But he also has like the thing on his left hand is a little bit of a cattle prod, right? Is a little bit of an electric baton or something. So you know, you could also play him as an a-hole and say he's the one that's gonna be he's gonna be making sure the miners are filling their quotas. So you know, I have a hard time believing, even with everything I said, I have a hard time believing that like this cute guy is like evil in any way whatsoever. But you know, you look at him, like pointed teeth is definitely a carnivore. And yeah, let's check out the actual model for Torture. And this one was sculpted by Uriel Mendes. And look at this. Look at all of those folds. And look at that smile. That's how does the meme go? It all started with that smile, that damn smile. Yes, Torture is definitely one of my favorites for this bundle, just because he's one of those characters that we do once in a while. It's a little bit more out there. It's a little bit more.
Yeah. We try in a few bundles. We try to make like a cute character because I know painters love them. It's a fun character. You of course you can use him as a character like in a game, but it's a very fun character to have like a good and relaxing time painting with colorful colors and colorful color scheme. And yeah, not every character needs to look like a bad and evil guy, like a badass guy.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like we try to always do a couple of characters that we will feel the needs of the painters. Like we mostly do minis for players, but we know a lot of you guys are painters and you are here for the miniatures that will be good to paint. So we always try to do at least a couple of characters that are gonna be good for that. I think for this bundle the best ones are like the psychic Brainlord, right? The kind of fifth element big lady, and Torture is also like a great one for painters. But yeah, we always try to do at least a couple minis that are gonna be great for you guys. So moving on to the next miniature, and actually let's talk about a couple of them. Let's show the concept art for a couple of them. First off is the Business Brainlord, but he's kind of a combo with the next character, which we're gonna talk about in just a little bit. There's this concept in sci-fi of just, and I think some people have been actually trying to do this, like preserve their brains in real life. A couple of people have been trying to like transfer their minds, like record their minds and turn them into AI or something because they want to live forever. But I think the classic one is like the mad doctor that somehow removes his own brain and moves it into a machine of some kind. The Business Brainlord in our lore is he used to be a miner, but there was a mining accident and he lost his body, and like in the ultimate feat of prosthetics, he was like they saved his brain and not much else. So that's why he's he like all that's left is his brain in a jar. And I think that was also one of the inspirations in D&D, in fantasy. There is the concept of the brain in a jar, which comes from science fiction, right? So it kind of comes full circle here. This one, just the concept is very, very interesting. We can use the cloak to give the illusion that it is flying. And yeah, let's go to the actual sculpt here. And this one was done by this one was sculpted by Robson Barros. And let's go to the sculpt. We're just adjusting the camera here, folks. Yeah, this is the sculpt. Do we have the 75mm helmet for him? Is it there anywhere? So this one's, yes. And you guys are gonna see why it wasn't on him. This one's, we did it with like the removable head, removable brain, and removable helmet. And there's a reason for it. It's because of our next character. But let's just make a couple of comments on this one. Like, I always love it when we are able to do the floating illusion somehow.
Yeah.
And this one was kind of even like cheating. It was like so easy, like just using the cloak like that. and it doesn't have a body, so it doesn't need much more than that, right?
Yeah, this is the body that the brain uses for like paperwork. It just needs hands and yeah.
It doesn't use a lot of. It's like energy efficient. It probably has like an A or A plus energy efficiency rating. So you don't need to like charge it up for hours and hours on end. Like it could probably work with like the whatever night charge you give it. You know, it's very functional body. Very it's the business suit of the Brainlord.
And you can't like step on the rock like.
Oh yeah, and you can't trip on rocks and everything. So yeah, no legs, no fuss, no muss. But the other body that the Brainlord uses is the bruiser body, the one we called the Brain Overlord. And of course, the brain and helmets are interchangeable, even in the 32mm models. I think the brain and the helmet are separate pieces just because it's easier to assemble it that way and to remove the supports.
You can make some cool effects, like if you want, you can make the brain floating with resin inside the helmet. Yeah, we gave freedom so the makers can try different effects with this one.
Yes, and let's see there. Yes. And yeah, this one's the big body, and I think the intention here is that your party starts the fight with the other miners or other thugs or whatever, and they are fighting the Business Brainlord, and they think this guy is just going to be like a pushover when they can actually get to him, and when they finally do, then you whip out the second phase of the fight, right? Where the brain just kind of floats into its place into the big brain overlord suit.
It's his final form.
Yeah, this is the final form. It's so great. But you can also use it if you don't want to use it like that. You can just print the helmet. You don't want to use it as you want to use it as like a mecha or something. You can just print the helmet in like regular resin instead of being translucent resin, and it can work like that as well, right?
Or you can like cut off some other minis head and
put
place
it
there.
in,
Yeah,
place
it's
it
a
there.
really cool body, like a Hulkbuster.
Yeah, it can work. Definitely work as a Hulkbuster kind of deal. Let's see here. I believe chat it's a little bit behind. Okay. We still have a fair bit of things to go through. Not a lot, but still a couple of things. The next character is going to be the Dwarf Miner. So let's take a look at the Dwarf Miner. I think this one I made mention of it already when we were talking about the bust. But this one is kind of like there's a lot of fiction that uses like it's almost space fantasy, right? Warhammer is definitely close to that, but stuff like games like Deep Rock Galactic, right, where you're just like a bunch of mining dwarfs. When we decided that we were going to set the setting was going to be the mines, it was kind of a no-brainer to do some kind of space dwarf. So dwarves in fantasy are like a completely separate race. Dwarves in sci-fi can be an offshoot of the human race, or they can be an alien race. Like it doesn't really matter. You can also do like a lot of alien races don't have like sexual dimorphism. Dwarfs can be just like that, so that's why you can't tell the difference between male and female dwarfs, because they kind of look the same. Just big bushy beards, big bushy respectable beards, right? So yeah, it was kind of a no-brainer to do to do a dwarf on a set that has a lot of mining on it, right? And you can definitely use this dwarf as a character as well. It's gonna take a little bit more imagination to get that pickaxe working, but you know, if you can have lightsabers, why not light pickaxes? It could work. So yeah, let's check out the actual model. And I think this one is gonna be super fun for people. And this model was actually sculpted by Kai Belushi. Did I? No, I did everyone. Oh, before I forget, because I skipped this one. The Brain Overlord was sculpted by Diogo Graham?
Colares.
Joe Colares?
No.
Was it? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Hobson is in chat. He's probably gonna correct us in like a moment. Just correct us on who did the Brainlord, the Overlord.
Was
Hobson. Was Joe. It was Joe. But the Dwarf Miner was sculpted by Kai Belushi. You know, just your classic dwarf brought to space with some really cool armor that could be, you know, it's not just armor, could be an exoskeleton as well. Make sure he has enough strength to haul all of the space minerals that he needs to haul. And, you know, it works really well. Like the safety equipment is just like really good dwarven armor, right? This is one of the minis that could work on for the fantasy subscription as well. Of course, if it was a dwarf that came through the time portal, which we're gonna get through in a bit. The next
Bust.
Oh yes, this one also has a bust, which we already kind of covered. It's the bust that Luiza is painting on the right side on the left side of your screen, and I believe on my right side. Yeah, it's inverted. Yeah, it's weird for us here. So yeah, there Luiza goes painting, and it's amazing the amount of work that Marcia and Luiza can get done in under 2 hours for the minis. A lot of the times we do have to finish them after the live stream, but they just get so much done. It's kind of intimidating, right? But it is a lot of like really cool stuff.
I think
there.
we are going to add LEDs on the head lantern.
On the headlamp.
Yeah, yeah. And it will look amazing.
Yes, we did add LEDs to a couple of minis this time around. I think they are minor. I don't think they're gonna show on camera or anything. But it is possible, and we do have a video out on this.
Yeah, just released it on Friday, I guess. Yeah,
Yes.
this video, guys, it's amazing. I highly recommend you go watching it. It's on our YouTube channel, and Lucas and Julia gave a lot of showed a lot of techniques how to use LEDs for minis and dioramas. You can see how Lucas created the Neon Street 3K diorama
or like the scenario we used for the filming of the bundle video.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of really cool stuff that we're releasing on that channel. A lot of like tips and tricks for everything, from for painters, for printers, or for players. There's a lot of really nice content coming out there. Okay, now for the second dwarf of the bundle, and our next miner, we have let me just make sure of the name, the flamethrower dwarf. And we know this dwarf doesn't have a beard. What's up with that? The story of the flamethrower dwarf is that it keeps burning its beard off. You know, it's a sign of great shame for a dwarf, but no one else wants the job, so someone's gotta do it. And I think, did we leave this one up to chance? Is this one? I'm not sure. Is this one female?
Yeah, it's a female.
It's a female dwarf, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also like very subtle.
It's
For her,
not. Maybe the concept art in the final sculpture you can see it.
yeah, I didn't get a chance to take a good look at the final sculpt up close for the live stream. Yeah, but I think it's clearer on the scope that it's a female dwarf. And it's kind of hard to do, especially when you're doing dwarfs. It's kind of hard to do.
She has the sideburns.
Yeah, she has like, the big sideburns.
Yeah.
It's kind of when you're doing. It's kind of hard to do like the sexual dimorphism thing with dwarfs because they're kind of squat. They all have like kind of the same body type, and if you just put a beard on all of them, people are gonna keep accusing us of not doing enough female characters or something. So once in a while we throw a couple of, and I think it would be good to talk a little bit about the how we decide on like gender for the minis and stuff like that. And we usually start with the character, what the character is going to be, and then after like we decide that, then we decide if it's going to be like a male or female.
Yeah.
And we try to balance it out. The sci-fi bundles have a lot more kind of, because there's a lot more like races that are like that, and there's robots and stuff like that. There's a lot more gender neutral characters, but that's just a function of the setting, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sometimes we feel like, there are a lot of men in this bundle. Let's change some few characters to a female characters, and we try to make a balance between them.
Yeah. So let's check out the actual sculpt, the actual model, because we talked about it, but we haven't actually shown it to you guys yet. And yeah, this is the sculpt of the flamethrower dwarf, and this one was done by. And again, that
Joe
name.
Colares, yeah.
Is it Joe Colares?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so this name was wrong. It was Joe Colares. I have some weird name here, and I don't know why. So yeah, Joe Colares did an amazing job with this, especially because it's kind of it's a very very kind of busy model. It has a lot of not busy per se, but it has a lot of stuff on it. It's not just dwarves in overalls or something like that. It actually has she has a bit of armor. She has the flamethrower. She has a couple of pouches, and she actually has like on the back pouch. She actually has a couple of tools, which is really really great to see in the model. The 75 probably shows it better, but you can still actually see the different tools in the 32mm miniature.
Joe Colares is doing an amazing job when we talk about details for the 32mm. As we were saying before,
Yes.
it's not easy to make a very detailed character that work in both scales, and Diogo is it's doing a great job on this. The 32, it's as detailed as the 75mm.
Okay, and just so we don't, because we're running out of time, let's show the last character for the bundle, but not the last mini for the bundle. And the next one is the Ore Inspector bot, which is a small mini. It's the kind of the little bot. It's kind of the R2D2 or BB-8. It's kind of the little robot that just follows people around and follows the miners around, collects ore samples, and just helps them determine what's the best course of action. Like where the ore veins, where should they excavate next. Doing little robots like this is always fun, and it also they are also like very very versatile as well. You can use them as a bunch of different things. If you have some like kind of D&D in space thing game going on, this could work as a familiar, or if you have a technomancer, this could be like a little machine spirit of some kind. Just a little bot made out of scraps. Could work like that. And let's check out the sculpt. And this one was done by Paulo Henrique Lopes. So yeah, as our last character for the bundle, great sculpt. A lot of, you can actually see like the different separate rocks. So this robot is actually like, the brain of the robot is probably just in like the front plate. That front plate that looks kind of like a cross thing, and like all the rest of the robot is all the rest of the body is just basically a bucket where it stores the rocks. And now that I think about it, look, I don't even want to think about it, but you know, mine shafts tend to be, especially on a like big asteroid, tend to be very long. And what do the miners do when when they need to go to the bathroom? Do they climb all the way up, or do they just, you know, use a bucket? And you know, this particular bucket can walk itself to the disposal area. So you know, I think that's a fun thought to have. Poor robot. Wow, come on guys, let me have my fun. Okay, and now let's. What we're gonna we have to get into the objects now. I'm gonna ask for just a couple of moments while we do the transitions, and while we're preparing the objects to be shown. I'm gonna go through chat and already like cover a couple of the questions that have been asked. So, Luiza, someone asked, Meddling Brass actually, and I know this picture from Discord. Meddling Brass is asking, is that metallic paint? What brand is it? It looks really high quality.
Chrome.
It's chrome paint?
Yeah, it's chrome metal from Green Stuff World.
Green stuff. Metal from green stuff.
Okay, and
let's watch Luiz a little bit.
Okay, let's watch Luiza a little bit while we do the transition for the objects here. Just a second, you guys.
Então abre o mic aí.
Okay, so we're back, and first off, we're gonna check out the concepts for the objects of this bundle. And first off, we have and what did they name this one? I think it was the mining drone.
Driller drone.
The driller drone.
Yeah.
So yeah, this the driller drone is just a bit of equipment for the miners. So if the miners are gonna have the not all of the work is done manually, of course. Some of it needs to be done, but it's a sci-fi setting, so we give them a break. It's not as back-breaking labor as it could have been, and we give them a driller drone, which, let me just find here the driller drone. And let's move on to the next concept, and then we can show them kind of all at once. And the next concept is going to be for the driller mining carts, and we actually have like the actual mining carts. And we have the driller mining cart just kind of goes in front of the mining cart, and it just kind of the intent is not to drill like a whole tunnel or anything. It's just to go through a tunnel that already exists and clear the debris that is in front of the automated mining carts that are on threads instead of being on tracks. And that's how the miners get the minerals and the crystals out of the mine, right? And of course, we also have the actual mining carts. We have the mining carts that are we have like big, we have a version of the mining carts that is empty, and then we have a crystal attachment that makes them look like they are full of crystals. So those are the mining equipments, the general mining equipments that we have for this bundle. And of course, we also have a bunch of crystals, because it's like the easiest way to convey that it's some mineral that they are mining, and not just make some rocks. So yeah, first off, let's start showing off the actual minis. And first, the driller drone, and a lot of the models for this bundle were all of the object models for this bundle were sculpted by Alex Marik. And there we go. There we have the driller drone. It's a little bit inspired by the bomb disposal robots and like the Mars rover and stuff like that. You know, kind of grounded in reality drones that we have today. And yeah, let's show the next one, the mining cart, the driller mining cart. And as we said, we have the driller mining cart, and we have the actual carts, and they can actually connect to do, so you can do a little train, which I really appreciate. I like trains. Trains are fun. And you can get the trains to the train track to be really long. You just have to keep printing mining carts and keep filling them with crystal. We're just trying to show off as much as we can of the models here. There we go. Okay, there we go.
The crystals are a separate piece, so you can use like transparent resin to print them.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at that. Or you can just do a couple of empty mining carts that are like getting ready to be filled or something like that.
Or you can print like 2 gorillas.
Okay. Of course, we have the crystals as well that help us compose this bundle. They are kind of really nice scenery pieces. So we have the mining cart full and empty, but we also have the we also have the actual crystals. So we have a little bit of a variety of crystals to help you compose your your terrain a little bit. We have like a lot of terrain in previous bundles that could help you out, like set up a great scenario. But we wanted to go with the crystal aesthetic for this bundle. Let me just check things here. Yeah, we're going to do the transition in just a second to the. Can we do the position? Yeah, there we go. The actual crystals, and this one's also sculpted by Alex Marik. Alex is the main object sculptor for the sci-fi bundles, right?
Actually, usually Anderson, he does the most complex objects, as you will see.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, a very cool tip is to print the crystals in transparent resin, and then using we will release a video very soon about it, like Marcia painting the elementals from the sci-fi, not from the fantasy subscription, but you can use some kind of paints and inks that they don't cover completely the transparent effect, so you can still see through the crystals. And for the rocks, like the ground on the bottom part, use a regular paint, so you have this like different materials effect for these pieces, and it looks amazing.
Okay, and now let's move on to the props. Just a second, you guys. Okay, so now let's talk about kind of the a little bit of a big mini for this model, a big model, which is going to be the spaceship. The spaceship that remained unnamed for a little while. We recently revealed the name for the ship when we released the bundle, and I'm gonna talk about that a little bit. And as Alvaro was saying, the spaceship was sculpted by Anderson Pioli. But we not only have the spaceship, we have the landing pad for it, or the mechanics bay. I believe that's like the final name that we came to on the bundle, which was sculpted by who did the landing? Oh, it was Anderson Pioli as well. So Anderson Pioli did both the landing pad or mechanics bay and the ship. And there's a little bit of a story with this ship. So I think the original concept art, and if you can see like in the concept art there on the left top corner, there's like the top view of the ship, and I believe that was like how the concept art started, right?
Yeah.
It's like the top view of this ship is the front view of like a wolf's skull or something.
Yeah,
right?
a wolf's head. Like
Yeah.
Kevin did this concept art, and he started sketching, inspired by a wolf's head. It's like crazy, but it worked really well.
Yes, and about the name of the ship. So in the concept art, it was unnamed. We did we released a poll in the community to ask for name suggestions, and I was going to release it, like pick a couple of the best ones and then put it up to a vote. I didn't though, and there's a reason for that. The name we ended up going with was the Scarab, and a lot of different people ended up like suggesting this name or a similar name to this. Like there was the Scarab, the Scarabaeus, like a lot of names around Scarab, right? So it felt right. It felt right for the ship, and that's why we ended up going with it. A lot of the other names, though, And I understand that a lot of you like the Guardians of the Galaxy reference and wanted to do something similar. But it would have been a little bit difficult for us to name a ship the Stallone or the Schwarzenegger or the you know it was going to be a little bit difficult to pick one of those names, and there were also a lot of names that were kind of like Ship McShipface or both. Like there was actually like around 15 Ship McShipface suggestions. And I mean, come on, guys, get creative. There was one guy. I swear to you, there's one of the suggestions. There was like Boaty McBoatface, and the community will do anything for a meme, man. So we ended up just choosing one of the names that a lot of people had suggested, which was the Scarab, and it felt right for this particular ship. But yeah, let's take a look at let's actually show the bay first, the landing pad for it, which works as the base for this ship. So yeah, we named it the ship landing pad initially, but it's more of a mechanics bay, and that's how we named it in the final version, I believe. And the idea is that you can fit a couple of minis underneath there. If we could use we have a couple of painted minis here that we could put there. And you know, the ship can be serviced, and that's the idea behind it. And the claws there are made to like support the ship kind of perfectly. So yeah, let's move on to the actual model because it's really cool. So underneath there, you do have the bay, the mechanics bay. It does have a couple of objects for it. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at the top view. So cool, so good. You know, this looks like a MERCS ship, like a smuggler ship or something like that. It reminds me a little bit like the overall shape, like the rounded shape. It reminds us a little bit of like famous ships, like the ship from the Millennium Falcon a little bit, the Milano, but also the ship from the not the Collector, the guy from Thor Ragnarok, which was played by Jeff Goldblum. I forgot the name of that character. He also had a ship with like a round thing around him, kind of a metal halo around the ship like this. I believe the cockpit actually comes off, right?
Yeah. As you can see, we already placed some LEDs inside this ship. And
yeah, it's a bit tight there. I don't know. You don't need to risk. Yeah, there we go.
And for this glass, like on the front, we decided to separate it in two pieces. Like we have the frame, like this structure, and the glass itself is a separate piece, so you can print it with transparent resin and polish with some very fine sandpaper. And after applying varnish, it becomes like very just like glass, very shiny.
Yeah, and it fits like perfectly into the base.
Yeah, it's a really cool diorama when you place it. Oh, oops!
It just lost a gun there that wasn't glued on yet. The best thing about the way we have the live stream structured now is that I'm not dropping any minis on camera anymore.
You can still drop
stream, you dropped some.
That's in the past. That's in the past. I'm not touching the minis anymore. So you know, people have to keep giving me grief about it. You break one really important piece during one live stream 6 months ago, and then you do it again in every live stream for like three months, and then you're marked for the rest of your life. But yeah, this is the scarab. This is the silver scarab. Not silver scarab. The scarab. Silver scarab was actually one of the suggestions in the poll. Would have been a really cool.
Yeah,
name
this
as well.
base it's amazing.
Yeah, this base is insane.
It looks like a workshop. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a workshop. It's like
Yeah.
a mechanics bay.
Yeah. I have like a table with some tools.
A toolbox. Like. The Grandmaster, yes, that's the name of that game from that guy from Thor Ragnarok. That is actually the collector's brother, right? They are the elders of the universe in Marvel. Okay, so now let's move on to a couple of different things. So first off, let's talk about the time portal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's show first the regular. Let's show the concept art for the time portal first. Yeah, and there's a couple of different things that we need to talk about with the time portal. So the time portal, we have like a quote unquote regular version, and then we have a prop version of it. The regular version is meant to be used in play. It's a bit smaller. It's actually but it's actually fairly big. And the whole idea is that for the fantasy bundle, we did a whole bundle filled with portals, right? The bundle is named City of Portals, and we wanted to do a crossover between the bundles, the fantasy and sci-fi bundles at some point. So the portal seemed like a great opportunity to do it, and so we created the time portal. And so we do have a time portal in the fantasy bundle. It's not exactly this one. This one is modified. This one is different, right? This one is it's what the miners found beneath the crust of the asteroid, and what they have been using to get an advantage in the market. So the idea is that they are planning are like repairing the time portal and planning on using it for nefarious or greedy reasons. It's unclear, but they want to use it to make money. I think it's the idea. The same portal, like it connects to the portal in the fantasy bundle. So for the fantasy bundle, we did Gruz. Gruz is going to be available as one of the minis for that fantasy bundle, and we are bringing one of the minis from City of Portals to MERCS and MINERS. And the mini we have decided to bring in because we feel it's like really thematic. It's the Earth Elemental. So let's first show off the time portal. Oh, okay, so this is the scope of the time portal, and I think I have it here as Alex Marik, but we did have like an original portal.
Yeah, we ended the time portal itself, and
so Wendy Ferreira, which is our main object artist for the fantasy models.
Yes.
And Alex kind of
upgraded
it.
He destroyed it. As you can see, there are like some broken parts on purpose, of course, and some sci-fi parts that the miners.
Have been added.
Yeah, so these parts were sculpted by Alex.
Yes. So he did one of those. What was the program called? He did a Pimp My Ride on the original on the original sculpt.
Yeah.
And it actually turned out like quite nice. It looks like something kind of cobbled together by miners, which was the intent.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the time portal. But that's not the only time portal that we have. We also have the prop version of the time portal. So for the prop version of the time portal, and we explained it in the last live stream because we had one there. This was planned so that you can use your cell phone to do the portal effect, and you can use this as a piece for a diorama, or even if you want to use it in your game, you can do so as well.
Yeah.
So
in our website you can download not just the portal itself, but there is a video also that you can download, play it in your cell phone. There's a very cool music as well, and so this is the video. And here on the back side you have like a space to put your cell phone in. And that's it. You have this really cool effect for your portal. You can place miniatures.
yeah, it looks great. Like even on it looks great on person, but even on camera.
Yeah. People sometimes ask which size is the gap here for the phone. We used an iPhone 13 Pro as a reference. But yeah, with the cover, without the cover, sorry. But we made it a little bigger, so most phones will fit here very well. I have a Samsung S20, I guess, and like there's some spare space. Like,
Yeah, there's still a little bit of a gap.
Yeah,
on the sides.
there's a gap.
So,
yeah, but it works really well because we made the frame.
Yeah, unless you have like one of those kind of phablets, like that.
Like
the Samsung Note or something like that.
Maybe you can like enlarge even more the portal, but yeah, most phones will work really well here. There's these pieces here to make it won't fall. Yeah.
Yes, and this is the miniature that we decided to go with for the Earth Elemental. Let's put him here on place of the Macapillion. We just thought he would fit very well with the thematic of a bundle of miners, right? So that's why we decided to bring him into the sci-fi bundle. So he's going to be available as part of the sci-fi bundle as well. As soon as we are done here, I'm going to upload him there. So he's going to be an option for download as well.
Yeah, and this portal was separate in many pieces. So even if you own a small resin printer, you can still print this. You have like 20 pieces, I guess, or more. I can't remember this one. But yeah, you can print it using smaller printers.
Mm-hmm. And I guess that's it for the time portal prop. I guess we could transfer it to the show this prop on the.
Yeah, we are showing the Earth Elemental.
Okay.
Yeah, the prop is like you can see the scale difference here. This is the 32 millimeters, and this is the prop one, the bigger one for the phones.
And yeah, I guess.
Yeah, let's see the Earth Elemental.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the extra meaning that time traveler to the future, and as Tiago said, this miniature will fit very well like an enemy that the miners found on the.
Yeah, maybe that's how the miners figured out that something was wrong. They just a random Earth Elemental shows up one day.
Yeah, like a nation creature that was believed to be like extincted. Yeah, yeah, you can see here the Earth Elemental. So this, just make sure, guys, this isn't a bonus. we didn't replace any miniature for this one. So in this month you will get this extra miniature.
Yes. And finally, for the last mini of this bundle and for the last prop, and this one I don't think it actually had a concept. I think we held off on showing it, so there's no concept for it, which is the prop dice box. We usually do a chest in our bundles. It's a little bit of a tradition to do a chest somewhere. A couple of months we've missed or skipped, but this month we want to take it further. We want to do something like really cool and interesting. So this is the dice box prop, and it's just a little bit of like almost like a jewelry box, and it actually works. It has a little bit of a lock here, and you take away the key, and there are all my dice. I hope I didn't deafen anyone with that sound so close to the mic. But yeah, this is the dice box prop, which was actually sculpted by Robson Barros, right? Yeah, that's what I have him here. Who I have here as a sculptor. So yeah, just some really cool like some extra stuff for players. Some people have been asking for us to take one of our chests and do a dice box for a while. We wanted to do a little bit of an experiment, see if it works, and it does. We had a couple of issues with it that we had to figure out, like how the mechanics of it would work.
Yeah, and this box is actually very big. Like it has a good size. You can like place.
You can place
a lot of dice here.
Yeah, you can place a lot of dice in there.
And, but it's also very simple to print because all the walls are a separate piece. So even with a smaller printer, you can print multiple pieces at once. And like in 2 prints, maybe you have the whole box printed. So yeah, very cool.
So yeah, whew, that's a lot of stuff for this bundle. We showed a lot today. We still have a couple of things to share with you guys. So first off, and first question, are we settled on that name?
Yeah.
Okay, we are settled on that name. Okay, so let's show the magazine first. We do have the magazine up for the bundle. The magazine has all of the stat blocks and the lore for this bundle. Definitely check it out. A lot of work and love goes into this content for you guys. We will have, I believe, this month. This month we're going to have a video. Who is it going to be this month or at the beginning of the next? Either way, while this bundle is up, we're going to have a video on how to and some extra content dropping on how to do this some of the alien races of this bundle as playable characters. So that content is coming. Look out for it. There's like some really cool stuff coming, and we're gonna want your guys' feedback on that content, and let us know which races you'd like to see, like the like official how to use it as a playable character rules. So that's the first part. The second part is the painting guide coming out. No painting guide?
No.
Maybe
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
For now, we can't do the painting guide for the sci-fi because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But who knows in the future? For now,
Okay.
just the fantasy subscription has the
Okay.
PDF.
I think that's it for those announcements, right?
Concept.
Yeah, there's
Not
the.
yet.
No, not yet. Okay. So first off, the name of the next bundle. The name of the next sci-fi bundle is going to be, and be sure, don't get it wrong. The name of the next sci-fi bundle is going to be War for Humanity. War for Humanity. That's the name of the next sci-fi bundle. There's some really cool stuff coming in that bundle, and some big stuff for that bundle. Like, definitely wait for the concept art. The concept art should be coming out. It's actually gonna come out earlier, I believe. We're going to release it this Friday, or if not this Friday, Saturday maybe, something like that. So it's coming out a little bit earlier, and yeah, that's the name of the next sci-fi bundle, War for Humanity. And we are getting very close to the release date of our next loyalty rewards. And we haven't shown you guys yet the loyalty reward, the concept art for that loyalty reward. So for the sci-fi bundle, it's going to be the first 9-month loyalty reward. So we did for the first 3 months, we have here Grigory Belov and his mecha, the Avalanche Walker. We did for the 6 months, we did the Mecha Hunter, which is not here, I think. Yeah, it's not here. So we did the Mecha Hunter, and for the 9-month loyalty reward, and let us just adjust here. Just let me know when we're ready. For the 9-month loyalty reward, we are going to do Nemesis, the first singularity. And here it is, the concept art for our 9-month loyalty reward. So, okay, so first off, let's just drink this in for a second. Okay. Did you do it? Yeah. Okay, now let's zoom in. If you could like zoom in on the top and just scroll all the way to the bottom. And this concept art is by Guilherme Mota, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, our lead concept artist, Guilherme Mota, is the one that's responsible for this awesome and really creepy concept art. So yeah, let's just scroll on it for a bit. Yeah, people are reacting on chat already. We are probably gonna put this concept art up in a little while, but you get to see it here first on the live stream. I think that's the way we prefer to do it. Like, actually, like, just take a look at that halo around her waist there. Yeah, those are brains, guys. That's a lot. Yes, those are brains. So yeah, this is Nemesis, the first singularity. She's our rogue AI overlord, right? Was there a QR code?
Yeah, there's this QR code on the skull on his head.
Oh, on the skull? We should probably do like a QR code that actually works.
Yeah, but
I don't think it does, but we could make it be so.
Yeah.
We could definitely do it. So yeah, this is the concept art for our next loyalty reward. So thank you so much, Guilherme, for bringing us like this awesome concept. And yeah, okay. So if you could lift the concept art up somehow, I'm just gonna go through to chat. We're gonna do a kind of quick Q&A section now. So if you guys have any questions, just let us know. There's one question that Barebones asked that I want to answer right now. And the question is, how is the new website going? And the new website is going very, very well. It's actually, Luiza came here to join us. Come in. Can you fit through?
Maybe.
So yeah, this is Luiza. You guys may have seen. Sorry.
That's okay.
This is Luiza. You guys may have seen pictures of her, but she's our awesome painter. She's doing mostly our sci-fi, models, but she's also helping out with a lot of stuff. Oh, like the chrome paint looks really nice up close. It's a mark of a painter, like dirty hands. Like you gotta learn to live with it. Let's see here if we can adjust. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to do a close up here, but we may be able to do it on the turntable over there. Just be careful. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Turn off the turntable.
It's on. It's on.
It needs to be off. Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. Yeah, let's all just drink it in. Okay, so Luiza, you should probably like have one of our. Luiza does have back issues. Like,
No, it's okay. For
it's
now.
okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
It's okay.
we're making the person with like back issues squat, which is not nice of us. So let's get through this fast now. Okay, so as for the first question from Bare Bones. He asked, how's the new website going? It's actually going very, very well. And we're going to do a soft launch next week. So it's going to start with like very, very few people, just like a test launch. And then we're going to gradually increase the number of people that are going to be part of the test. Those who are, for now, we're going to keep, you're going to have like double accounts on both platforms. So you can access in either the old platform or the new platform, and eventually we're going to transfer everyone to the new platform. But you should expect to hear news of the new platform like very, very soon. Okay, so that's the first one. The next one is that one of the members of someone in chat already figured out Korut, which is to rock. That one wasn't hard at all. Turok was a first-person shooter where you fought dinosaurs. It's a really, really old game, and I may have offended some people that played that game as children. Now it may have happened. I'm not sure.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I may be calling people old by calling their game old. Once I said that like Super Mario was an old game, and someone got like really, really offended. Let's see here. What are there are any questions here? Yeah, so if you guys have any questions or any comments to make, just drop them in chat right now. This is the time. We don't have a lot of time left. We're gonna try to end this before we get to 5:30 here to have our mark. Fast into a business cycle. Let's see here. Yes, someone's saying they need to roll now. It's very close. It's almost done. It's almost here. Which kind of brings desperation to some of our. Who do you know which artist is going to be working on this one overall? Do we have that name yet?
Daniel Sanchez. Yeah.
Great. The large reward is safe in Daniel's hands. Okay, so there are actually like no questions. I'm gonna go back here real quick, see if there's anything else on chat? Yeah, I guess not. Okay, so yeah, this is it, guys. This has been our MERCS and MINERS bundles. I hope you guys love it as much as I do, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we did, like the whole process of creating this for you guys. So thank you so much for joining us. Is Alvaro in? Yeah, Alvaro is in picture. So this is us signing off. Until next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye, guys.